Well, John Jackson, the Trojans coming off, let's call it a tough loss at Boston College. No real way to say it except to give your thoughts on what you saw.
Well, it wasn't pretty for the Trojans. I mean, they were thoroughly outplayed by Boston College. I don't think that Boston College is better than them, but I do think they were thoroughly outplayed in that game. The bad thing or unfortunate thing about it is they got off to a great start. They get off to a great lead. They have sort of control of the game from a scoreboard standpoint, and you just felt the sense that if they made one more play, that Boston College would give in. Of course, that big play didn't come, but it's one of those things. It's a learning experience for a young team and something they have to get better at.
I think the one thing that a lot of Trojan fans look at and say, just as the game was going along, really both sides of the line were having problems. And when you look as far as adjustments that the team made during the game, what did you see?
Well, on the offensive line, the Trojans need to play better assignment football. They have to make sure that they get on their guys, get a hat on a hat, and really keep the leverage and the angles that are going, because the running backs are extremely talented. One thing that Boston College did do is they crowded the line with extra defenders. So in the run game, it made it obviously difficult to run, but in the pass game, there were several twists and several stunts that they were using that the Trojans just did not pick up well in those third and long situations, and that led to Cody Kessler getting sacked numerous times. So I think it's an identification thing, for this line. I think the Sark's going to have to make things just a little bit simpler for this offensive line so they can identify guys a little bit better. But on the offensive line side, there's going to be a lot of work over the next 2 weeks.
And let's talk about that. One of the things that Steve Sarkisian has talked about Sunday night and then at Monday Morning Quarterback was in the bye week going to be looking at the offense, talking about the identity. Are we a pass to run team or are we a run to pass team?
Well, one thing I think that Sark is trying to get is that don't think that he's going to revamp this entire offense. Is going to be anything different than what you've seen in the last couple of weeks. But I think that he has to make the determination of wanting to be a smash mouth team, which is what he wants. He wants to be run first and really smash mouth and take it to him. But he's going to have to identify, does he have the people and the players right now or the experience in those players to be able to pull that off? In my opinion, I think he's going to have to balance out the offense. He's going to have to spread it around a little bit. He's going to have to challenge defenses vertically as well as horizontally to give his offensive line a chance. He's going to have to make things a little bit simpler.
And let's flip it over to the defensive side of the ball. As you're heading into the bye week, if you are Coach Jackson putting on your hat, how do you approach things with where this defense is at right now?
Well, defensively, I think it's a very talented group, but I think that they are not doing a very good job with their run fits. And as a defense, you have to remember that it's not about who's, what side the ball is going to, but you also have to remember the flow might go one way and it cut back the opposite way. So I think the big thing for the Trojans defensively is to understand that if you're on the play side and the ball's coming at you, everybody understands that. It's, play physical football, run to the football. But what teams are going to do, which is what Boston College did effectively, is they started the action one way and then try to take advantage of the Trojans being not in their assignments or in their gaps when plays started to come back the other way. So I think that's the thing. It's going to be it's not necessarily a discipline thing. It's an assignment thing that they have to play better as a team and not for each individual to try to make every play.
Keep your coaching hat on for a minute and put yourself in Sark's shoes. How do you handle this bye week as far as the need to really get into this team after what happened on Saturday and the need to realize, hey, this is a young team, so I kind of got to handle them with kid gloves?
Yeah, it's really this is going to be his best coaching job right now. It's a very delicate time of the year for this team because it's the first time they face major adversity. And so Sark is stuck in between, how hard do I get on players because it's going to take that to get their attention, to wake them up, to make them understand that he's serious. But at the same time, he can't crush their confidence, because it's a young team with several young players, and the last thing you want to do is have them playing tentative. So he has to be able to get on them a little bit more so they understand their assignments, but he also has to take it easy on them, and be sort of soft a little bit, just so they understand that he doesn't hate them. They just need to play better.
Let's flip it to recruiting a little bit. On Friday night, you were going to have a chance to go out and broadcast a game with Long Beach Poly, and that's going to mean some Iman Biggie Marshall. You saw him a lot in the past couple of years. What are your thoughts on this young man?
Well, I saw Biggie last year against Centennial again, and he completely shut down anybody that's playing against him. He's an unbelievable talent. I mean, the true meaning of a shutdown corner, at the high school level, you usually don't find that. You don't find a guy that can line up and really shut down half the field, and I'm talking about against the opposite team's best receiver. So Marshall is one of those guys that is a unique talent. Obviously, he's high on USC's radar screen. It's going to be exciting to watch him, but unfortunately, you don't get to talk about him a lot because right now high school coaches are throwing to the opposite side.
That's good coaching right there.
That is.
That's our report here from the USC campus. For John Jackson, this is Garry Paskwietz, ESPN.